Okay, now as part of the coach, this is part of the soul of the champion. The soul of the champion believes that in every moment and every opportunity, there's an opportunity to change and to grow and enhance and empower and inspire other people. And in doing so, in giving that away, it opens you up to receive new levels of thinking, new interaction, new engagement. So what I like to do in this one moment is probably share one of the most powerful things that I learned, and I want to be able to give this tool to you. It's a tool that's foundational. It's thousands of years old, but here's how we can apply it in a real life situation. So what I want to build for you is the matrix first, that you have the ability to take a dramatic, emotionally filled crisis, a tragic situation that's filled with all sorts of unexpected, difficult outcomes, and turn it around to it being something that is part of a new asset base that will be with you for 10 and 20 years. Okay, let me repeat that again. That you have the ability to take a very difficult, the most awful situation you can be in, and through the ability of reconciliation, and what I'm going to share with you in a minute, you'll have the ability to be able to turn it into a knowledge, experience, asset enterprise that will be with you for a long, long time. What I love about this transformation that I'm going to share with you, it operates on what I call the no-cost, low-cost platform, which means it doesn't cost you a lot of money. It can be integrated quickly, and you can go wide and deep, which are the fundamentals of success to win today. Remember, incremental growth over last year's performance equals economic death over time. So you have to go infinitely wide. You've got to go infinitely deep. It has to be easy, and it has to be sustainable. Now, here is one strategy to use, and I can tell you, if you be able to apply this strategy instantly in your day today, you will find new thinking and new strength and new ideas and new innovation emerge instantly. That's the key part of this, that this is instantly becomes available. And let me tell the story in this way. I was in my front yard, and I was out playing with the kids, and we were throwing the football around. And then all of a sudden, one of the neighbors comes over, and I could tell they were in a very, very difficult situation. In fact, there was blood all over this particular lady. And I said to her, I said, "Are you okay?" And I could see by the glazed look on her eye, she was in a really bad situation. And I go, "Is your husband okay?" And there was another blank stare on her face. And I knew she was not okay. I said, "Look, please go inside. Please go see Tammy. She's in the living room. Go sit down and talk with her. I'm going to go over and see if your husband's okay." So all of a sudden, 6 and 7 cop cars come screaming up the driveway. And I'm looking to myself, what is going on? And when they came out of their cars, they had their guns pulled on me. And I said, "Excuse me, officers, I think you've got a mistake. You probably got the call from that house over there. I think they're in the middle of a domestic. And I think, how can I help you?" And they says, "Look, don't talk to us that way. Put your hands up in the air." And now I'm concerned because I'm out there in the front yard with my children. My children are in the middle of this situation that's very dangerous. And I had to just de-escalate this right away. I said, "Look, I'm here to help. I'll do exactly what you ask." And they says, "Well, what are you doing up here in the first place?" I said, "Well, actually, I live here." And he says, "Well, you can't possibly live here in this neighborhood." I says, "Well, I actually do." And they says, "Well, don't talk anymore." I says, "Okay, but the lady you're looking for is inside talking to my wife. And if you walk in that door," and again, they reminded me not to say anything. And so they started heading off, and I said, "No, it's the other door over there." And again, the guns were again pointed at me, and it was very serious. So I stood out there while being held by gunpoint, and about 10 minutes later, the officer comes running out of the house with pictures of me in his hand, and his words were, "I can't believe it. You're Brian Holloway. I've heard of you. I heard you were living up here someplace, but I never knew where you were. Will you sign my autograph for my son? Will you sign this? Will you do this?" And all of a sudden, he turned into a little kid. Now, in that moment, could you imagine the thoughts that were going through my head? One, you had guns pointed at me in front of my children. Number two, you were threatening me that you were going to shoot me. Now, you got to imagine, I mean, I'm 6'8", 350 pounds, and I used to fight men for a living, and so there would have been a strong emotional response had they shot me. Trust me, I would have done something. But in the middle of that moment, I sat there and realized, you know what? He asked me to sign the autograph, and I signed the autograph. I embraced him, and I thanked him. I said, "I want to thank you for all the work you do to protect the community. I want to thank you that when my kids leave here, that they have some people so willing to come up in a difficult situation and put themselves in harm's way to be able to keep my children safe. And I want you to know, I know you made a mistake. We'll just let that go. But I want you to know at any point, at any time, you guys are welcome to come up here. We have a lot of fun parties where we get together with friends and barbecue. Please come at any time. Consider my place a place where you can come. And even if you just want to have your kids over, we have 200 acres. You can run around. You can play down at the pond. You can enjoy the country. What I'm saying is you are a great servant, a leader, and I want to thank you for all your service. Now, could you imagine all the things that were available to me in that situation? But also in the middle of that situation, there was an opportunity. Now today, 15 years later, those people are very dear friends. They now come up to the house constantly. If there's ever an issue or we ever have to make a call, we've never had, but we know they'll be there instantly. When we've had to call 911 is when one of the kids got sick or we had a broken bone or we needed medical attention. They would come and they would leave their homes. I mean, we didn't need 2 or 3 cop cars, but they would all come to make sure we were okay. So what am I saying in that moment? What's the learning there? The learning is you may be in the middle of something massive and difficult and treacherous and emotionally based, and the outcomes are catastrophic. What I'm saying to you is as a champions know that there is a passage, there's a way through that and turn that into an incredible asset. Now we have to have that thinking right now because we are in those difficult times where we got to sail into the winds. So I want to leave that with you as an asset. And in order to do that well, you've got to have the capacity and capability within you as a leader. Watch this. It's one of the most powerful words I've ever heard in my life and use and live on a daily basis. Okay? It's the power of forgiveness. Okay? The ability to be in a situation that's so difficult, so adverse, so so treacherous, nothing but landmines. And we have the capability through the power of forgiveness to immediately eliminate all the potential difficulties just by that moral courage that we have in our faith. And I want to encourage you to look and use that asset today. It's something so important. I couldn't withhold it. I wanted you to have it right now, and I wanted you to have that part of your customer experience on my website.